thank you for helping my wife. And kind of the ultimate sacrifice.
A Richmond man wants to make sure a fallen police officer is never forgotten. Hear his plan to honor a hero and help other police officers.
No big winner here, but several people in Kentucky are cashing in on the record Powerball jackpot. Hear from one of the $3 million winners.
And just how much money did the Kentucky Lottery make on Powerball fever? We crunched the numbers on the lottery's record run.
This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening. His wife was the victim of a crime that started a chain of events that ended with the murder of a Richmond police officer.
And now he wants to make sure that Officer Daniel Ellis's legacy lives on by creating a task force in his name. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner has more on the group's goals in our top story at 5:30.
In my mind, I owe Daniel and Katie.
Officer Daniel Ellis was killed in the line of duty. He was searching for a robbery suspect when he was ambushed and shot in the head.
Officer Daniel Ellis is 10-7. He has gone home.
Thank you for helping my wife. And kind of the ultimate sacrifice.
It's been a couple of months since the Richmond police officer was killed in the line of duty. Daniel Ellis has not been forgotten. David Gannon is making sure of that.
When I was a child, you could go up and down the sidewalks and cross town on a bicycle, and you never worried about it. Well, now you're scared to watch your kids go out the front door.
Gannon has started a task force in honor of the late officer. It's called the Ellis Coalition, and the newly formed group seeks to keep the community safe with a goal of retaining officers.
We need to revisit this. We need to put ourselves in parity with other counties, with other law enforcement agencies.
The coalition wants to focus on repetitive crime, contact lawmakers, get laws changed, and keep drugs out.
You don't want to be in Madison County. Go somewhere else, do something somewhere else, but, you know, we don't want you. And as a community, we're going to fight to get rid of you.
But the coalition is asking for your help, saying one person can make a difference, but they can't do it all on their own.
You as the citizens have to make the difference. You have to make the calls. We have to do this as a group.
In Madison County, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
The coalition has a Facebook page and informational video. We have linked those for you on WKYT.com.
Police in Louisville are searching for suspects after a teenager was shot and killed. It happened about 9:30 last night near the Portland neighborhood in West Louisville. Police have identified that victim as 15-year-old Tyler Russell. They say they have no suspects at this time, but they're working to learn what led up to Russell's death. Investigators would not say whether it was a drive-by shooting. A murder suspect last seen in central Kentucky has now been added to the U.S. Marshals 15 most wanted list. 50-year-old William Greer has been on the run for 9 years. Investigators say he killed his girlfriend near Houston, Texas in December of '06. A year later, he was found living in Georgetown, but he was able to get away from police. He has not been seen since. The Marshals Service has increased the reward for his arrest to $25,000.
A jury has convicted a man of killing his estranged wife along with another man. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Grant County. Sean Hiles was accused of ambushing and shooting the couple in July of 2014. He faced 2 counts each of murder and wanton endangerment. Today, a jury convicted him on all charges. Hiles reportedly told deputies he shot the two because his wife was with someone else. A sentencing hearing will take place in the coming days. Hiles faces up to life in prison. And in Shelby County, we are learning some new details in the investigation into a Simpsonville police officer charged with stealing from his own department. During the investigation into the theft, state police say all officers with the Simpsonville police were reportedly willing to submit to a polygraph exam with the exception of 2 officers. Investigators say Terry Putnam, the officer eventually charged with the burglary, was one of those officers who refused. Kentucky State Police is now handling the ongoing investigation.
Lexington police have taken the next step to have body cameras for officers. Today, police began accepting bids for the body cameras. Police want the company to provide the cameras and maintain storage for videos. It has been previously reported the department hopes to have the body cameras by June. The city has set aside $600,000 to buy the cameras. Officials at Eastern Kentucky University asking returning students to leave those new hoverboards behind. In email sent to students this week, EKU announced that hoverboards will be banned from dorms. School officials say the decision comes after concerns that the items could catch fire. Hoverboards can still be used, though, on other university property. EKU joins more than 30 other universities, including UK, to ban or restrict hoverboards. And if you're on a hoverboard today or a skateboard, well, it's probably warm enough for that.
Good day.
But we're going from the 50s today to some big changes in the weather, and our ride by no means is over.
Yeah, those changes are certainly on the way. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey's in the First Alert Weather Center with an early look at the forecast. I bet you were on your hoverboard today.
You know what? Call me old-fashioned if you want. A day like this, I'm going to get out and take a little run or a little walk around the neighborhood. I got my feet for a reason, folks. We look outside right now, and the temperatures across the entire region are into the 50s, mid-50s showing up across most of the region. Gusty winds have been out there as well. We've had a little mix of sun and clouds late this afternoon, but overall that southerly and southwesterly wind flow doing a number on the temperatures. Hard to believe yesterday morning we were in a few cases close to 0. That is not the case now. Even across the Great Lakes now, that southwesterly breeze warming up the temperatures. It gets even warmer back to our west. 65 into St. Louis. They're right ahead of a cold front that is on the move out of the Rockies into the Plain States. That'll be on top of the Bluegrass State by tomorrow evening at this time. That will bring rain out ahead of it, and then we start to focus on rain chances before another Arctic blast arriving later into the weekend. So we get two systems over the course of the next couple of days, and each one of those will knock the temperatures down quite a bit when compared to where we are right now. Our one-day gravy train is coming to an end, guys. Back to reality. We'll track it in a few.
Okay, thanks, Chris. 3 people will split last night's massive $1.6 billion Powerball jackpot. Winning tickets were sold in Tennessee, Florida, and California.
But even if they didn't win the big prize, some Kentucky players won't walk away empty-handed. Our Jennifer Palumbo joins us now at the live desk with more on who won big here in Kentucky. Jennifer?
Amber, 3 tickets in Kentucky had 5 numbers right, but not the Powerball, and those are worth $1 million each. One of them was sold in Paducah. WPSD reports 11 staff members with Paducah Public Schools will split that prize. So far, they have not come forward. Another winner who has come forward to get her $1 million prize is Linda Windy. She bought 3 tickets at the Cincinnati South Travel Center in Walton. She's from upstate New York, but has been staying with family in Ohio and working at eBay in northern Kentucky. The single mom of 3 says the money comes at just the right time.
Perfect. Well, I was down here visiting because I was having a hard time in New York. So.
The Hazard Double Quick sold the other $1 million ticket in Kentucky. The store gets $10,000. So far, that winner has not come forward yet to claim the prize. And Kentucky has 5 $50,000 winners. Alicia Hedger bought her ticket at Creech's Food Mart in Mount Sterling. She and her boyfriend Clark Thornton claimed the prize this morning. Hedger works at Wildcat Warehouse in Lexington and says she plans to use the money to pay off her student loans and go back to school. The other $50,000 tickets were sold in Harrodsburg, Florence, Hazard, and Benton. Those stores receive $500 for selling their winning tickets. At the live desk, Jennifer Palumbo, WKYT.
Jennifer, thank you. The government also won big last night as a 39.6% federal income tax will be placed on the winners. That's on top of any state taxes that may also be imposed.
And while we're talking about numbers, how did the record-setting Powerball jackpot affect Kentucky's lottery? Our good question tonight, how big were ticket sales here in Kentucky? Powerball fever in Kentucky really started to take off in the last 2 weeks. Since November 1st, the Kentucky Lottery made almost $42 million in Powerball ticket sales. But most of that, $31.5 million, came in just the last 2 weeks, $25 million of that in 1 week, just this last week. Now, to give you some perspective, the lottery sold $31 million in tickets from last June to December. Lottery officials tell us their sales have lagged some in the last year, but it's too early to say how much the historic Powerball jackpot will help, since sales may drop now that this large jackpot is finally gone. To submit a good question, log on to WKYT.com, click on Contact Us, and look for that link, Good Question, at WKYT.com. Coming up after the break, you may have heard of Shark Tank. What about Stash Tank? How teams of students are competing to make a legendary mark behind a Lexington venue.
I'm Bill Bryant, a former governor and a longtime newsman. Both decide retirement is not for them. And Kentucky's agriculture commissioner says farming means more than just what's on your table. The bottom line is ahead.
And coming up at 6, living in unbearable conditions. A Boyle County woman is rushed to the hospital after she was discovered malnourished in her home.
For all your hearth and grill needs, shop barnhillchimney.com.
Brutal blizzard this weekend.
Another polar vortex coming.
Snowpocalypse.
Winter is here. Are you ready? No matter what winter throws at you, you can power through it. Nissan's family of crossovers with intuitive all-wheel drive. Bring on winter. Choose Nissan Rogue with 0% financing for up to 36 months, or get 0% financing for up to 36 months on Murano. Shop your local Nissan store and choose Nissan.com.
The flu virus hits big, with aches, chills, and fever. There's no such thing as a little flu, and it needs a big solution, an antiviral.
So when the flu hits, call your doctor right away and up the ante with antiviral Tamiflu. Prescription Tamiflu is an antiviral that attacks the flu virus at its source and helps stop it from spreading in the body. Tamiflu is FDA approved to treat the flu in people 2 weeks of age and older whose flu symptoms started within the last 2 days. Before taking Tamiflu, tell your doctor if you're pregnant, nursing, have serious health conditions, or take other medicines. If you develop an allergic reaction, a severe rash, or signs of unusual behavior, stop taking Tamiflu and call your doctor immediately. Children and adolescents in particular may be at an increased risk of seizures, confusion, or abnormal behavior. The most common side effects are mild to moderate nausea and vomiting. Anti-flu? Go antiviral with Tamiflu.
Curly fries are perfect just the way they are. Like when you see a celeb without makeup and you're like, huh, that celeb is really beautiful. They don't need makeup. Oh my gosh, who is this? Cheddar cheese and ranch and bacon? That celeb is way out of my league. Mix and match new loaded curly fries or any of these classic sandwiches for just $5. Arby's, we have the meats.
Hey, we did it, we won. Our numbers won! Carla, let me see that ticket.
Oh, it was Kathy's turn to buy the ticket.
I had to work a double. Bill said he'd get him.
I had bowling. Late night. Yeah. So Daryl said he'd get him.
Didn't get my text?
Pickle the chickens?
No. Pick up the tick.
The only way you can win Kentucky's Powerball or Mega Millions jackpot is if you actually buy your ticket.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
2 high-profile retirements come to an end, and Kentucky's new ag commissioner says he's focused on the economy.
Bill Bryant has the details in today's Bottom Line.
Good evening. Retirement lasted just a little more than a month for former Governor Steve Beshear, who is going back to work for his old law firm. Stites and Harbison announcing today that Beshear, who just completed 2 terms as governor of the Commonwealth, is coming back to the firm part-time in its Lexington office. Beshear worked for Stites and Harbison from 1987 until 2007 when he was elected governor. The law firm says Beshear handled complex business and bankruptcy cases during his previous tenure there. Beshear will now be serving some clients in Washington in his new role as well. Another who failed at retirement apparently is Bob Schieffer, the veteran CBS newsman who stepped down as host of Face the Nation last year. He's returning to the network as a political analyst. He appeared earlier today on CBS This Morning. Total retirement just didn't work out for Schieffer, who says the 2016 campaign is one of the most unusual in his lifetime, and he is eager to offer his insights on CBS News programs. Kentucky's new Agriculture Commissioner Ryan Quarles is pointing out the wide range of responsibilities for his office, from regulating truck scales and amusement rides to assuring quality food is both produced and promoted in the Commonwealth.
I take the role of the Agriculture Commissioner's office as one that's focused on economic development. Agriculture affects Kentuckians more than just 3 times a day when they eat. We are an agency that is tasked with the most regulatory responsibility than any other department in Frankfort.
Commissioner Quarles is one of the guests on this weekend's edition of Kentucky Newsmakers. Governor Matt Bevin is working to elect other Republicans. The Courier-Journal reporting today he will headline a fundraiser later in the month in Louisville. And Senator Rand Paul worked throughout the day to try to secure a position in tonight's GOP presidential debate on the Fox Business Channel, which he says used out-of-date polling to make the decision to leave him out. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
You may have heard of the entrepreneur TV show Shark Tank. Well, Whitaker Bank Ballpark here in Lexington is hosting its own version called Stash Tank. 8 teams of students from Lexington STEAM Academy are giving presentations of different ways the Lexington Legends can make better use of the area behind the right field fence. Right now, it's home to a half-court basketball area. One group proposed to turn that area into a rock climbing wall.
They said our presentation was awesome. I'm not sure what they said to the other presentations, but it might have been awesome as well. But so far, this is just hopes that our presentation will be picked.
The Lexington Legends staff will pick one team's idea in the next 2 weeks.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
It's been an absolutely picture-perfect day out there. A lot of sunshine. They only drop back those gusty winds, but mild temperatures. Now a little bit of cloud cover starting to creep on into town. You're seeing some of those high-level clouds that you usually get ahead of some patterns that are changing, and that's what we've got coming up over the next few days. Still, though, enjoy your evening. Southwesterly wind at 11 miles an hour. 55 is the current thermometer reading. Most areas today hitting the 50s. I said last night I thought some areas had a 55 in their back pocket they would use today. You know what? You just threw that away and went a little higher than that, huh? Hey, do it to it, folks. Beautiful day out there that is coming to an end. Clouds, though, coming in from the southwest. Cold front that is out across the plain states going to roll its way on toward the east. That will give us some rain tomorrow. Then we go back into more of a winter pattern. And I'm not talking about a ton of snow by any stretch of the imagination this weekend. Light snow showers, some flurries around. It's just a drastic change from today and the weather we have tomorrow. Again, temperatures are in the low 30s for your Saturday. By Sunday, late in the day, an Arctic front will sweep into town. May not be too dissimilar to the front we had a few days ago. Snow showers, some squalls, and very windy weather right along and behind that boundary. Then that unleashes even colder air for your Monday. Bitter cold temperatures, lows that have a chance of flirting with zero. Floodgates are open from the Arctic across Canada right on into the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Look at that strong flow, and you see that northerly component that goes all the way into parts of the deep south. So this bad boy isn't going to stop until it hits the Gulf of Mexico and the East Coast. So most of the country is going to get really, really cold as we go into early next week. Temperature trend. This is one of the models we look at. Notice how quickly the numbers drop as we go into the evening hours on Sunday. And the models for Monday morning have 5 to 10 degrees. But if you recall a few nights ago, same models couldn't get us below 10. We bottomed out into the low and mid single digits. They've been overestimating the overnight lows with this Arctic air. So that's why we lower those numbers a little bit. Monday, some of us may be hard-pressed to get to 20 degrees. And you know what happens Monday night into Tuesday morning? We do it all over again with the possibility of single-digit lows that will be taking shape through the area. It's going to be windy during that time, too, so you got to talk about a wind chill. And watch how quickly those wind chill numbers drop. This is what your body's going to tell you the temperature is. It may be below zero at times as we go into the first part of next week. That's a nice little shock to the system, isn't it? Rain around tomorrow. Not going to rain the entire day, but if you're packing the kiddos, getting them ready for school tomorrow morning, make sure they have the raincoats with them. And if you're kind of laying out your wear for tomorrow, keep that in mind. We go into Sunday. Here comes the Arctic front with 28 degrees and dropping into the evening. Some light snow accumulations possible with that front. Then it's game on for bitterly cold air.
You knew after the December we had that sooner or later that foot would drop, that other shoe.
We kept saying the other shoe's going to drop at some point. And boy, oh boy, this is one of the more, for the entire country, maybe the most dramatic turnaround from December to January that you will ever see.
It's not dropping, it's stomping on it, sounds like.
Yeah. Kicking.
Thanks, Chris.
Well, we're still a couple of issues. One's on the inner loop of New Circle at Nicholasville Road. Now, they're in the process right now. They have a record on the scene of getting the right lane cleared on the circle, but it's still bumper to bumper from Tate's Creek to that point. And now we got a stalled car in the mix there as well, by the way. On the Interstate 75, Ironworks Pike, That's one issue that we're dealing with, both north and southbound, from an earlier vehicle fire, trying to recover from that, but still traffic is having a little hard time getting past it, especially on the northbound side. Drive times, it's going to affect you into Scott County. Winchester on 64 still looks okay, and Parents Pike, they're on the north side, no major delays. Now back to the studio.
John Calipari explaining no-shows.
That's what he said he had Tuesday night, some no-shows. You'll want to hear the explanation. And the UK women's team in South Carolina, a top 10 matchup tonight at the Coliseum, number 9 against number 2. That's next on WKYT.
Tonight, when a rich guy starts hitting on you,
He wants to have dinner with him.
thank you, Jesus! What can a poor girl do?
How about we shave those legs and say yes?
Let the gold digging begin.
He bought you a putter in the pro shop. For old white guys, this is as good as a promise ring.
A new mom. Then, don't miss the new comedy that will have everyone asking,
Where you been, huh? Korea.
what in the halo is wrong with her? Angel from Hell, right after A New Mom, CBS tonight.
The Lazy Boy inventory overstock sell-off is going on now. $5 million of factory direct overstocks will be sold at rock-bottom prices. Hurry in now. Don't miss it. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
If you've been injured in an accident, hurt on the job, or the victim of medical malpractice, visit forthepeople.com. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Arby's Mix and Match 2 for $5 is back. Mix and match 2 of these tasty things for just $5. What the heck are those? Bacon, ranch, and cheddar on curly fries? You should definitely get those for one of your tasty things. Then get another thing. But start with the loaded curly fries for sure. Arby's, we have the meats.
Did your family set a goal to become healthier in the new year? One family did and lost 300 pounds at Ageless. Bruce lost 92 pounds, Adam lost 64 pounds, and Catherine lost 151 pounds. For a medically supervised, affordable weight loss solution, call Ageless today for a free consultation.
Clients come into the office. The government has said, no, I don't believe you. You're not disabled.
The major problem with Social Security disability is that most people who sign up are denied at the initial level. If your claim's denied, don't give up. Call us immediately. We'll appeal your case.
We can do an effective job of representing you that will get you the benefits that you deserve.
Call Morgan, Collins, and Yeast, 1-800-55-WILDCAT.
Hi, I'm Coach Cal here with UK graduate Kim Knopf of Sleep Outfitters. Sleep is a critical component of our athletic training at UK.
And we're excited to announce that Sleep Outfitters is now the official sleep provider of the University of Kentucky Athletics. We're celebrating by offering exclusive UK Champions Collection mattresses and pillows.
See the UK Champions Collection only at Sleep Outfitters.
A high school principal is transferred in the middle of a school year with no explanation. WKYT's Miranda Combs searched through hundreds of emails and other documents to find out why. The principal transfer. Tonight at 6 on WKYT.
The Lazy Boy inventory overstock sell-off is going on now. $5 million of factory direct overstocks will be sold at rock-bottom prices. Hurry in now. Don't miss it. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
Have something that needs investigating? Email us or call the WKYT Investigates tip line.
John Calipari said after Tuesday's game he had some no-shows, referring to the big men. Cal said it just wasn't Marcus Lee and Alex Poitras, there were others. He explained no-show by defining a gazillion.
No-show means you look at the staff and they have whatever gazillion. You know what a gazillion is? Do you know what a gazillion is? They have, no, there's a number there. Maybe 30 gazillion, it may be 120 gazillion. You play 12 minutes, so they put the minutes and then everything else is a zero. You just had a gazillion.
Well, after getting a career-high 25 at Alabama, Alex Poitras struggled again Tuesday, but he did come through with some key rebounds and big free throws in the last minute.
Yeah, of course, you just got to step up and, team needs you at the end. You got to make your free throws. You can't, miss something or go one-on-one for the line. You got to just make your free throws and make plays to end the game.
John Calipari also talked today about the NCAA rule change that will give underclassmen more flexibility with the NBA draft without jeopardizing eligibility. Players can now take part in the combine, have one team tryout per year, and be allowed up to 10 days to withdraw from the draft after the combine.
I think it gives these kids the real info so that there's no delusion on their part of what they're up against. I want them to make the decision on the information that the NBA gives them. At that point, you can only call and they could give you information. But I think it's good. I think it's good for the game.
Up next, the Cats travel down to Auburn Saturday. It'll be a 4 o'clock tip on ESPN. Tonight at the Coliseum, number 9 Kentucky hosting number 2 South Carolina in a big SEC women's matchup. Wildcats will try to hand Carolina its first loss of the season. Coach Matthew Mitchell said yesterday while his team went undefeated in non-conference play, it's a little tougher in the SEC.
We're having a harder time here in the conference. You know, things really went well for us in the non-conference, and you're seeing our team having to make a strong and, you know, a major adjustment from an attitude and effort standpoint. Things that were a little bit easier in the conference, in the non-conference, just aren't happening.
So it is number 2 South Carolina and number 9 Kentucky, 7 o'clock at the Coliseum. If you can't make it out, you can watch it on the SEC Network. In the next half hour, more from Alex Poitras as he talks about his inconsistent play. Does he get tired of being asked about it? Stay with us. We're back after the break.